David Spade. Saturday Night Live, Just Shoot Me, incredible Rules of Engagement. Hilarious movies like Grown Ups, 1 and 2, Dickie Roberts, Joe Dirt, Tommy Boy. In addition to television and film, David also tours. One of the funniest live stand-ups going, and he brings his show to the Tulalip Resort Casino next Saturday, June 28th. Now, there are 2 shows. Get your tickets quickly. 7 o'clock p.m. and 10 p.m. We put up a link to the Tulalip box office and Ticketmaster at bobrivers.com. David Spade, welcome back to the Bob Rivers Show, and welcome back to coming back to the Northwest.
Bob, you're cranking my theme song from Joe Dirt. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, we're fans. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm in California. It's pretty sunny. I hear it's actually pretty nice up there right now.
Yeah, this is a good time of year to come here. It can turn. It's any time before July 4th, but you're in and out pretty quick, aren't you? Or are you hanging?
Yeah. Well, if it's not raining, we're going to try to golf around there and screw around a little bit. We'll see how it goes. I haven't been there since Paramount Theater, I think, with Bobcat back in after the Police Academy 4 days. I opened for him.
Wow. Okay, that has been a while. So you don't know anything about Tulalip, do you?
I do not. I just talked to Dana Carvey. He said he went up there. He's the only one I know of that knows about this. So he had a good experience, so I think it'll go well.
Okay, the Tulalip Resort Casino, the thing that I'm sure they're putting you in one of their amazing suites. And when I say amazing suites, like, you know the suite in The Hangover where they had the tiger?
I sure do, yeah.
It's just like that.
Oh, I like that. I want a tiger, too.
There's a drive-through shower, by the way, you could wash a Mini Cooper in.
Well, instead of the tiger, I'll switch it for a girl. How about that?
Yeah, that could probably be.
She can call you Tiger.
We'll
That'd be great.
Yeah, Marysville. Maybe someone named Mary.
Yeah, let me talk to the concierge.
All right.
But, guys, so you got Spike, you've got Joe. Someone's from Mississippi. Who's that, Joe?
Yeah, that's me, David. It's been a long time. I've lived up here over 40 years now, but I was born in Water Valley, Mississippi, and the accent stays with me a little bit.
You still got your Joe Dirt roots, right?
You betcha.
And there's Spike. Who's got the wife that knows Spade?
That's me. That's Spike. And my wife, I tell you what, dude, if she had a list of, everybody's got their short list of 3 people you give a weekend pass to your spouse for, right?
Actually, we say that, but not a lot of us actually have had it notarized like Spike had.
Well, you came in first.
Yeah.
You came in first and third. So I want to give you credit there, brother.
Yeah.
Is it Spade and then third is Dirt?
I think it's the mullet, man. I think it really is. And the Hemi.
Wear the wig. I got to pull it out of the safe. Yeah, there's some girls in Vegas, sure not as cute as your wife, because they come up to me and they're about 70 and they go, "You're my freebie." And I go, "Oh, that's nice." And they go, "No, you don't get it." And I go, "Well, I think I get a vote in this too, don't I?" They can't believe when they see me on TV. They go, "No, you sleep with lots of girls." I go, "Well, that's sort of the guy on TV. I mean, I like to thin it out a little bit."
Just a little. Well, you're not, and some of that is like your brand, your reputation, of course. But you don't feel like the need to live up to that, do you?
No, I mean, I'm old and beat up now, but it is nice to get on those lists. The problem with those lists is when I make it for a girl, I make it like Johnny Depp. I make it people she's never going to see. But you can't do Spade because he might pop into something.
Seriously? I know.
Yeah, the fact that you allowed David on that list means you're willing to risk it, is what I'm saying.
Hey, I love her. And if something I can do to make her life happy, I haven't really fulfilled my end of the bargain from, promising her the future she had in mind. So if you could make it all good in one day, have at it.
Listen, I'm so bad, I've heard that she'd come sprinting back. Don't worry about it.
David Spade. David, I read that you're writing your memoir. Have you taken thumb to?
It sounds a little more serious than it is. It's basically I had put off. They approach you about a book here and there, and I tried one during Just Shoot Me, and then I just was too busy. It's very hard to sit and write it all. So I had done more stuff since then. So this is the first time I've been off a TV show, and I thought, I should try that. But I just want to write stories about Saturday Night Live and about stupid things that happened in my life. Sort of how I got into stand-up. It'll be just jokes, obviously. It's just stupid. Losing my virginity, the first time Eddie Murphy got mad at me. I'm just trying to think of all the things over the years that people ask about, the guy that attacked me, all the things that came up. I'll try to put a funny spin on them. Because I talked to Chris Rock. I go, you ever going to do a book? He goes, yeah, I did one. I'm like, oh, you already did? They got Tina Fey, Amy Poehler's got one coming out. So I said, oh, okay, well, if this is something people do, let me try to do it.
Well, you've had and we'd love to know more about you. I mean, you have a reputation, but you also have lots of amazing. By the way, the PR, and I don't know if you have anything to do with HarperCollins books or if your kid is named after HarperCollins books. I don't know anything, but the PR says your epic tale of losing your virginity.
I think that was their words.
Their words. And I think about it, and it's almost like a spoiler in cable TV if I ask you about it, because that's going to be a news story when the book comes out. But how do you epically?
It's not so epic. I'm sure the girl would agree that it was sort of a bumbling disaster. But that was one of the first things I had sent them, because I started right away. I come out of the gate hot with all these chapters, and I start fading out because I'm not doing it with a ghostwriter, so I have to sit there and click, click, click on the typewriter or whatever I use, and it's harder than I thought. So now I'm getting into, my first Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. That was like right before he quit. I got to go on. So I'm trying to think of things that are mildly interesting. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It won't be like wall-to-wall riveting, but
you're humble about it.
I've read a few books, and I'm like, okay, well, these are total duds. So at least I'll have a few tent-pole things in there.
Now, I want to ask you a little bit about your life. You grew up poor, and can you tell me what poor means to you? Like, how poor?
Well, I remember I didn't really know I was poor because, my mom, everyone else was poor on the street. And I knew I had a rock collection and beer can collection. I realized later they're free. This is my mom's genius. You should collect dirty diapers. I mean, anything that was free, I was like, that's where she was steering me. And I remember when I had crayons. They give you crayons for the year, and my mom would give me that little 4-pack she swiped from IHOP, that you get when you sit down, and from Coco's. And I had that for the year. And I remember this chick goes, hey, can I borrow a crayon? I'm like, sure, babe. And then she goes, do you have burnt sienna? I was like, oh, my God. So I look behind me. There's a kid, a rich kid with that box of 64 beefy Crayolas, that big box. With
I was envy. I had crayon envy.
Every color of the rainbow squirting out. And he's like, oh, I have burnt sienna. Pulls it out. He goes, oh, let me sharpen it on the box for you. I was like, oh, my God.
Wow.
Every chick was swooning. Even I was getting excited. She was staring at him.
That's amazing, by the way. I had that experience, and that's you look at the kid with the incredible crayons the way you might look at someone with a Bentley today, right?
Yeah. Exactly. It was the beginning of me. Being poor wasn't the panty dropper you thought it was, even in third grade. So I go, I got to get rich soon. It took me a little longer than I thought.
Wow.
But I'm trying to get there. So I will talk about stuff like that in the book. I talk about my act. I talk about going to Las Vegas, how ridiculous it is. I have a lot of casino stuff, so that helps that we're at a casino. Yeah.
Well, and then one other quickie, because we only have a couple more minutes, but Saturday Night Live, of course, that's going to be a big part of your book, and everybody knows that was spectacular. But I read that you grew up a fan of Saturday Night Live, so who were your heroes, and what did it feel like to get to actually be a Saturday Night Live star after growing up watching it?
Well, I don't know how old you are, but, if you're in that sort of just pocket of growing up watching that show, I mean, anybody who grows up watches it, just depending on what cast, I sort of caught the beginning, even though I was too young to get it all. But, there started live movies with Belushi and Aykroyd and Bill Murray. Bill Murray's probably my all-time favorite. Never got to meet Belushi. Did have Aykroyd come in to SNL when I was there, which was very intimidating and exciting. Eddie Murphy came in to see Chris Rock once. It came into the office, very scary. very fun to see these guys you grew up on. And so I met a lot of them. I wound up seeing a lot of them. And when we were on the show, they were saying we were horrible. So when we're off the show and then they said it was funny, I felt better about it because while we were there, they're like, you're not as good as the last guys. And then when you leave, they go, oh, you're better than
Isn't being on Saturday Night Live almost a little like getting elected president? They always say, oh, you're not good once you get the job. And then afterwards, they appreciate you after you're gone, right?
It is true because everyone said when they were there that they were the worst cast. And then when they leave, they go, they were great. But we had Will Ferrell after us, and they're like, you guys are horrible. Spade and Farley, they were the good ones. And then later they go, oh, I miss Will Ferrell.
Speaking of Farley,
it's great.
Speaking of Farley, and you said you never got to meet Belushi, but the stuff you did with Chris was just some of of all the movies and cast members, some of my favorite stuff I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was just talking to someone the other day, and I said, you know what it is? It is sort of like our Belushi because I was such a fan of Belushi, but Chris was sort of that, and I got to be nearby for that. So I feel like Aykroyd did in a way. Like, he got to do all the stuff with him. And, Farley was so riveting to watch, and especially it's nice that in hindsight even kids know who he is now. I think a lot of parents tell me they make their kids watch his stuff to show them what they liked, like get their kids to like it. And I think that's nice. It's people always say nice things about him every day.
Well,
not a day goes.
You brought out the best in him, too.
Yeah, I thank you. I mean, listen, we all know he had his thing that was unbelievable. So just to feed him lines and be nearby was great because it just brought out, like, he was so funny anyway. I was glad to be front row.
Don't miss David Spade at the Tulalip Resort Casino. The link's at BobRivers.com. Go get your tickets right this second. Don't wait until they sell out. David, if we could surprise you by leaving something in your giant suite, is there a particular animal, or we already mentioned woman, but I don't think I'll have a problem with that. But what would you like in your suite?
Maybe just a bottle of Belvedere and some Diet Coke. That'll get me through.
Perfect. All right, David.
I hear the crowds are good. Dana told me they're fun up there, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, you'll have a blast. We love them. The Tulalip Resort Casino. David Spade. All the info at Bob Rivers. Huh? What's that?
I was clapping.
Oh, clap.
Hey.
BobRivers.com for your tickets right now. All right, have a great weekend, David. Good to talk to you.